After the movie came the debut season, and now we have the official air date of the final season. Yes, folks, it seems like the alternate history show is about to wrap things up for good this time. But before they go, they've got a 10-episode long last hurrah all planned out for you guys. It's going to be a blast. After all, it is Hunters. So let's catch you up on all things season 2. First off, let's talk about the final season of Hunters. Yep, you heard that right, folks. The final season of the historical drama Hunters on Amazon Prime has announced a release date. It's, drumroll please, January 13th, 2023. Not that far, right? Now, while it's true that it's only the second season, we already know it will also be the last. The show will portray Logan Lerman and Al Pacino as Nazi hunters in the 1970s New York film Hunters. After a dramatic ending, the show's moderately successful debut on Amazon in 2020 left viewers itching to find out what would happen next. The question remains, do we expect some answers this time around? The creator David Well seems to think so. There were several cliffhangers and storylines from Hunter Season 1 that now need to be resolved. Although the first season offered some breadcrumbs here and there, the conclusion should help clear things up for good. Season 2 of the show streams on January 13th on Amazon Prime, and the creator of The Hunters promises that it will be much improved. He shared that this show carries risk, and they've always known that, but at the same time, he believes that Season 2 will maintain the same spirit of aggressiveness, loud, and cheeky narrative, and we expect nothing less. Up next, we're also getting a change in scenery. Despite having its roots in New York City for season 1, the second season's main action will probably happen in Europe. It makes sense since the 8 new Nazi targets are all meant to be in Europe. That also gives us a roadmap to the stories we'll see in this season. These 8 Nazis in cover may easily make up most of the second season, but there's still one more mystery to work out. Harriet was also revealed in the finale to be some sort of double agent, acting at the command of a puppet master whose name wasn't revealed. So what's that all about? Now, the question is how the storylines of Hunters will be wrapped up. You already know where we're going with this, don't you? We'll be talking about the Wolf, which arguably turned out to be the boldest move yet. The revelation that Al Pacino's Holocaust survivor Meyer Offerman is a notorious Nazi at the end of season 1 offered viewers a taste of the big moves the show is willing to take. Lerman's character, Jonah, who kills Meyer in a beautiful act of retribution, is left to run Meyer's enterprise and guide the Nazi hunters as they continue their exploits and struggles in Europe. That sets a straight path for season 2. We will see Pacino return, but only be in flashbacks, and we'll take it. Coming up, here are the major upcoming plot lines that will unfold. Well, you can't think Nazi and not think Hitler. Well, the showrunners of Hunters seem to have a similar outlook. So, season 2 will undoubtedly feature a significant plot involving Adolf Hitler. Yup, viewers can anticipate that Lerman's gang of Nazi killers would expand their search after it was revealed in the season 1 finale that Hitler is still alive and living in a compound in Latin America. But there's more. He ain't alone. Eva Braun, his famed wife, was also shown to be alive and well, assuming the identity of the menacing Colonel. We don't know how much of Hitler and his wife will be shown on screen, but the Lerman's group will deal with them in one way or another, that's for sure. Now, let's map out the new season, shall we? The first season of Hunters on Amazon follows the titular organization of Nazi hunters in New York City during the 1970s. And while the series finale did offer some answers, it also left us with many questions. There were several twists and turns at the end of season 1, some more unexpected than others. First, Meyer turned out to be the Wolf after all. Should have seen this one coming, to be honest. Next, Jonah's great-grandfather was never able to flee the extermination camps. We still haven't processed that one. And we can't forget that the Colonel is Eva Braun herself and that Hitler is indeed still alive. Although, we have to be honest, that one was not a complete surprise to some of us. But all these showdowns also point towards a shift in power and storylines. Meyer's secret is revealed. Jonah's now in charge of the Hunters. And Hitler's continued existence shows that the Nazis still have things on the agenda, don't they always? Either way, we're excited to see what they throw at us. Next up, let's dig a little deeper. We're starting with Millie Morris. The Hunter Season 1 finale left us to speculate on a few potential outcomes for FBI agent Millie Morris. The trial ended up costing her job. You know, the one in which she was unable to establish her theory that the Nazis were operating on American soil under the guise of Operation Paperclip. And then the loss of her mother. Well, that means she'll do what every good agent does, instated or not. She'll keep working on the case and keep looking for Nazis, even though Plan A was a bust. Millie had decided to pursue her final course of action, releasing Travis in exchange for his cooperation as a witness. While his refusal came as predicted, it left Morris without a strategy. But when one door closes, a new chance presented itself soon enough, and we call her Elizabeth Handelman, a Jewish congressman well-versed in Operation Paperclip. And what does she want? She wants to organize a covert squad to carry on the Nazi pursuit. And you don't need us to tell you, that squad will fit Morris like a glove. This means Travis will presumably gain a lot of power and influence for and among the Nazis while in prison. That alone might pave the way to his freedom. And honestly, we wouldn't be surprised if Travis was to become a key player in the Nazi regime, mainly because he would have control over the American neo-Nazis. Now, let's talk about Joe. Joe will be available to the Nazis. Joe, played by Louis Ozawa, was abducted by Nazis in the Hunter Season 1 finale to be taken to Argentina, where he finds out about the whole Hitler storyline. Putting that aside, one of the main mysteries of the season finale is, why was Joe abducted anyways? And we might have a theory. It's simple really, his combat abilities were required. From what we gather from the final scene is that Joe will be introduced to the Nazi squad as a tutor or mentor because he's seated at the table with 4 identical children. Whether he's made to work for the Nazis, tries to flee, or other people start seeking him, that's all for us to see in Hunters Season 2. Escape scenes sound appealing though, don't they? Up next, the question we all want to be answered. Will Adolf Hitler serve as the lead in Season 2? The arrival of Hitler and Eva Braun in Argentina is a bomb blast of potential storylines. Just endless opportunities and plot twists just waiting to happen. The Hunters may visit Argentina at some point in the series, especially since they ought to try to save Joe. At the same time, if the Nazis already had ambitious objectives, knowing that Hitler was engaged elevates the stakes for everyone and signals that something even more sinister is at work. Lastly, will the team go at it from a different angle? At the risk of repeating ourselves, one of the biggest shockers was the discovery that Meyer is the wolf, and his passing leaves Jonah as the Hunter's new leader. But oddly, they've agreed to carry on searching without exploring the possibility that Meyer was a Nazi undercover. It's a very real possibility now, isn't it? The writers just can't leave it hanging. It also raises the potential of an internal struggle for the Hunters. The team might seek fresh strategies to continue taking out the Nazis in Season 2, abandoning Meyer's original plan. The first season showed the character's moral dilemma, but there's much more to be said about the whole thing. While it's true that the Season 1 finale left us with many questions, it also teased a variety of alternative scenarios for Season 2. So now we're excited to see how the writers bring it home. We're sure that they've got something up their sleeve. I mean, they always do. That's a wrap. Let us know in the comments below what your theories are for Hunter Season 2. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.